Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Our warnings will be shorter than ever on this one. It's a game, one of the all-time classics, so if you haven't played it before, I'd advise not watching the Let's Play and instead going away and playing it for yourself, but there it is. We are well out of the tutorial now, so you're either here or not, I guess. Second warning is this is a horror game with lots of adult themes, sex and violence and so on. I wouldn't consider it safe for work, and it does occasionally like to pull on some triggers, so if you're worried about anything like that, maybe steer clear. We are going to pick up from where we left off last time. Excuse me while I cough. Which was we were just about to go on the, I suppose to call it the Claire Danes. It's not the Claire Danes. Is it the Elizabeth Dane? That boat where they found the Ankara sarcophagus. Oh, right, okay. That was seamless. So this is one of the bits where it's much more on rails, and unfortunately it's a big ass ship with a load of sneaking on it. We do not have the necessary sneak skills really to get on this. Downtown Elizabeth Dane, cargo manifest, the sarcophagus, and find out what the police have discovered. So yeah, we put an extra point in stealth. Yeah, this is going to be just basically one long, lengthy stealth session. Okay, that's not jumpable. Okay, well he just blatantly looked around at me. Whoa! Do you want to look the other way, please? Thank you. I don't think there was anything this way, was there? No. Okay, well that was stealth working most fortunately. Yeah, we don't need to. We need to not kill anyone, which is not the same as where we. No, which is not quite the same. So I might as well save it. Oh god, we've got loads to delete here as well. We are definitely committed to being where we are in this. Right, new save game, delete, where is back. Some of these, I mean, do you enjoy stealth games? I'm not huge on them. An awful lot of blood here, isn't there? Oh, I just noticed that the ship's actually rocking in the sea. It's a nice touch, isn't it? Yeah, we don't have much in the way of security, so okay, well, I mean, I guess that will kind of be useful. I think we do need. Nope, nothing doing. Okay. I mean, the records room seems like it might be a useful place to go in, but I don't know if 3 lockpick is going to see us through. Yeah. Okay. These three-dimensional handles are the key. Okay, you see, we can obviously we don't want to go on a killing spree. We can probably drain him, which will give some time. How long does... Actually, we've got trance. What? How long does trance last for? That's to hit us, don't it? Momentarily. Well, momentarily doesn't sound very long. Okay, that wasn't the button I was hoping to press there. Apologies. Yeah, we don't want to ice the guy. That is not the purpose of this. The fucking doors in this game. Once again, I failed that. Right, we might want to think of other ways that we can sort of distract this man out of here. I guess we'll try trance and just see what happens. I don't know how long it lasts, frankly. Not very fucking long, right, okay. Okay, well... I don't think they can see through those windows, so I think that that is a valid way across. Oh, nice level of sneak. Right, okay, so there's two of them there, so that's probably not the play, is it? Is it 6 on both sides? Oh no, it's much easier from this side. Okay, well, I guess the play here is to jump on the table. Cool. Can we unlock this door from this side? No. Right, okay, fine. Well, that's one of the 3 parts done. There is every possibility. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, well, Jesus, they're fucking everywhere, aren't they?
Some kind of symbol. You guys in touch with the VMC or who? Who do we have here? Not immediately familiar. Well, look, damn it, this is something we need to get squared away before anyone puts any stakes down. I mean, look, this will save all of us some work later if we get this shit squared away now, okay? Agreed? We go through this every goddamn time. Alright, fine. Find out if it'll save us all some trouble.
Well, what do you make of this? It's nothing local. No similarity to usual gangs. Sure would know perhaps it's associated with any pirate organizations.
Right, okay. Now, for the record, we don't necessarily need to be undetected. We can just leg it once we're done, and that may well be the play. Ideally I'd like to go over there, but I just don't think it's going to be possible. I guess we'll try when this person next moves. Oh shit, that's not gonna work. Oh. Yeah, this is not going to work. Right, okay. Yeah. Go gadget the American Police Force, LAPD, doing what they do. I won't say best, but doing what they do. I might be able to get through there. Go on, go on. Feel my vampire ankle's breaking at that one. Right, nothing here, but we can go up here. Do you reckon? Think we can make that jump? Or stealthy creature of the night, alright. I got a ladder there. Okay. We're not going to make that jump.
Box might be outside. All this cargo in one little box gone.
That could just be a typo in the manifest.
Yeah, or someone in the crew could have swiped it.
Lost it?
For now, we should assume.
Okay.
And that's what they came out here for.
Does it say what was in it?
Nope. Looks like it was packaged with the coffin thing, the sarcophagus. No contents listed.
Fishy.
Could it be a drug thing?
Well, the slaughterhouse seemed like this. Someone wanted to get a message across here. Why get rid of the bodies, though?
Dunno. No sense to any of it.
What about the sarcophagus? Anybody take a look yet?
It's sealed up tight, fused together practically. Can't even find a seam. You'd almost think it was solid.
Yeah, the dialogue is not what's the word? Like area dependent. Is very much when you've activated it, you hear it, which is fine by me. Can't get through that way. Not over the worst of this. If we did need to cut and run, that's an option. But I think what's this? Crane release. Interesting. Wait, won't that just kill them? I'm not really sure I want to do that. I'm sure that there were some police who were not on the ground level, so we're a little bit cautious in this neck of the woods. Case in point. Okay. How big is a sneak jump? Should we try it? Alright. Don't mind me. Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. Ho ho ho! Right. We will need to feed, but that tremendous. That is how you do that. None of this careful sneaking about, just run past and absorb all the bullets. The police won't know what hit them. Well, they will, because it's just hit them. And now we'll go to the asylum. We'll feel a pang of sadness that neither Therese nor Jeanette are available to speak to.
I missed you. Did you miss me?
Terribly, let me show you how sorry I am. Oh, thinking about it, we could have just used our dominate power, couldn't we? But, yeah. I'm not going to bother with the second part. Oh, instinctively heading towards those two. If I speak to you, do you have any new lines to start? Or do you know what's recent yet? Hi, my pet going just died. I'm Hill to work. I'm positive now.
You gonna buy a drink or what?
I'm so sorry, goodbye. Right, okay. Always good. And then we can probably save and wire this.
Hop in.
Why not? I was looking through the. I took out the actual source. Oh, hello.
Hey, I know this might seem creepy and all. Please don't blow me off, okay? Someone told me I could find you here. I mean, I've been looking all over for you since that night. Because I just wanted to. I'm in your debt. I want to help you. I owe you my life, and I feel like I need to repay you. I almost forgot. I'm Heather. Heather Poe. I'm not weirding you out or anything, am I?
That's hard to do these nights. She looks much better.
Only because of you. What you did for me. Here, I got you this. I thought you might be able to use it. I can be useful to you. I'd do anything. Just tell me you'll let me help you. Let me stay with you. Make me feel this way.
Yeah, this is cool. I think for this we'll do. We'll do, of course.
Really? I promise you won't regret it. Promise. I'll get you money. I'll get you things. Everything. I want to be important to you.
Wait for me at my place. I can't have you follow me around. It's dangerous.
I know where you live. I checked there first. I'll wait for you at your place. And when you do come back, I'll take care of whatever you want. I'd do anything for you.
What did I ever do without you? I'll clean up the place a little. It's probably worthwhile considering as well. Right, okay, so we've got Heather. Heather, if you don't recall, is the girl that we saved in the clinic in I think it was the very first episode where we gave her some blood to save her life, and now she has become ghoulified to us effectively. I think you probably will remember her, and here's a point that I'd like to make on this, because I think Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, I don't know why I call it Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, why Bloodlines specifically does this really, really well. It's really good at using colour schemes with its characters. And like, you might, I don't know if you've picked up on this, but like all the different characters are using quite distinct colour schemes. Like if you were to get a load of just colour palettes and list them like kind of up and down, so like if we take Heather, if you had like red in the top, and then pale, and then like it's like a, is it like a cyan around the top of a yellow top, and then the blue, like you'd know it was Heather. And they're all like that. There's very little overlap, and it's one of the absolute curses, I think, of a lot of model design in video games, that things, you need things to be distinct. It's a really good and easy way to just keep things separate and stick in the memory. We are not going to cover, are we not going to cover, maybe we will cover it on the channel, I don't know. I Am Setsuna is an example of like a smaller indie game with a more sort of retro style that just gets that completely wrong. That like scenes just, in Setsuna's case, like the places have no definition. For me, like part of the reason why, I mean, there's lots of reasons why Morrowind's characters are entirely forgettable, but part of that is the art design, and think people just look the same. You know, when you're, and like this doesn't apply anywhere near as much to characters who are to NPCs who are bumbling about. Most of the NPCs who are bumbling about are I wish I was more artistically inclined and could explain the exact lighting, and colour schemes of it, but they're in sort of darker, murkier colours. Heather is bright. Chunk here, who we're going to have to probably speak to, he's actually in quite bright colours that makes him quite identifiable. Most people are, who are of any significance. Therese and Jeanette, like, even though Therese is, superficially dressed in this grey, stuffy, like suit dress. What do you call it? Skirt suit. Is that whatever? This suit. The actual colour schemes that are going on, the contrast between the two has a brightness to it that a lot of the other characters don't have. So, yeah. I just think that's very good. Okay, sorry. Did I...
Evening, Chief.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me to send you up as soon as you came in. Some people here to see Mr. LaCroix. Nice guy. It seems a little different, though. I wonder if he's... that's his business.
How's it going, Chum?
I'm keeping the undesirables out. The innocent, safe and secure. I'm the thin blue line that separates the crazy from the hard-working, decent folks. Yep, as long as I'm around, Mr. LaCroix's got nothing to worry about.
I'm sure he appreciates your hair, protect him. Fabulous, so now we can go up. Yeah, we've mentioned it before. The when you're designing, oh,
I've said all I need to for now.
yeah, I mean, that's a case in point. The characters you need to speak to. Look at that colour compared to the others. Well, it's not just the colour as well. It does a lot of things with it lights things that are important. Which is, again, it's just really it's quite subtle, but it's I say it's quite subtle. It's not desperately subtle, but it it makes a difference, showing you what's selectable or not. I just think that's really good, simple design. But going back to the character models, like one of the things with this, and it really applies to any game where you're going to put meaningful characters in. And as I say, with Elder Scrolls and Morrowind particularly, because it's the one I know the best, that's not a game that's trying to have memorable characters. It just has no, it's not really, some games would much rather have memorable places than memorable characters. And I think Morrowind is trying for that. I don't know that it always necessarily succeeds. I can remember a few of them, but a lot of them are pretty. I find it just actually as a game, just very it's cold, But yeah, if you're going to have a game with big characters, one of the tricks, or it's not even a trick, it's like one of the core components to use with that is, like, if you see that character at a distance, like, are they recognizable? Do they have a recognizable silhouette? Do they have a recognizable color scheme that sort of leaps out? And this is another thing. I mean, that's something where we can talk about that in terms of maybe it being a lost art. Because there's a lot of games, like, I don't think it's not awful at it, but I don't think it's great at it. Clair Obscur, like, characters from a distance, like, everybody looks similar. I mean, there was the webcomic Awkward Zombie was joking that, there's no uniform for the expeditions, but, like, there's a reason why, generally speaking, if you are going to put your squads in uniform, your party in a uniform, then you need a lot of definition from the neck up, like a lot of it, and even then, I mean, I remember, I think it was, as I said, I occasionally we'll try anime. I don't have a great hit rate with it, but it's something I've always liked the idea of more than the execution, frankly. But I was watching some of Attack on Titan, which is one of the better animes out there. It's not by no means my favourite, but it's interesting for what it is. But there are points in that where one of the two of the characters, and it's because of the uniforms, and it's fine most of the time, but then you end up with a couple who have got vaguely similar sort of hair colours, and it's just like, who is this? And I think a lot of video games, like, run into that. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of Fallout 1 or 2, which famously and even self-referentially use a very, very, very small number of character models. and the effect of that is that it's a very dispassionate narrative. You know, like the and to be honest with you, I strongly suspect the reason that they put the talking heads in is to try and give a sense of warmth to the world, because it is really quite dispassionate when everybody just sort of looks the same. You want people, as I say, to leap out. Let's move on.
I don't have time for a monologue. Give me the bullet points of what you saw. And the Ankaran sarcophagus. What did you see? Opened. Let's not jump to conclusions. Give me the manifest in your notes. I'll sort this mess later. You might have noticed when you came in the parade of malingering mollycoddles filing out.
Yeah, what was that one?
Those were the Primogen, this city's clan elders. A worrisome bunch devoted first and foremost to the security of their own skin. Which is why they were here. It seems Alistair Grout, the Malkavian Primogen, has either forgotten how to answer his phone, or is missing. Each minor problem like a grain of sand. Each night I inherit the desert. The Sabot's appearance has put the Primogen on edge. Grout's mansion is in the Hollywood Hills. I need you to pry Grout out of whatever crack he's crawled into, and have him contact us. Yes, for the moment. You know, your demeanor thus far bears similar characteristics to those that rise to the top of this organization. Stay that course. Yes, about Grout. As I said, Grout is the Malkavian Primogen. His behavior and home are eccentric, to say the least. He's developed a paranoid bent lately, so you may have to check under every bed in the place for him.
A few questions.
I suppose I can spare a few seconds.
People.
Yes.
The Primogen.
They are the representatives of their clans, though more often than not they represent their own best interests. They stay close to power, but are too fearful of the consequences to wield it. Nonetheless, I seek their counsel on occasion.
Question about something else.
Which is...
The man really
when
see
we
that.
hear from Grout, you may come back. Until then.
Till then what? Goodbye. Right, okay, see you later. Nice thing that. I dug out the source books for this because I've been sort of curious. As I say, I've never played the tabletop RPG, but I have got I've got PDF copies of almost everything relating to the game, although I don't tend to look into those, and I've got hard copies of many of the books and source books and so on. Unfortunately, I didn't dig out the PDFs, but like having dug out the hard copy of the main source book, I've realised that the one I've got is like I don't know if it's a different edition to my preferred one, but it's kind of a briefer one, and the art's not quite as good. And I remember when I got lent loaned rather the source book by a friend back at university. It was a much more high quality version than the one that is on the floor to the side of me. So it might be that her one. I couldn't tell you which edition. I'm really sorry. I just don't know the editions on them. But I mean, we're going back 20 years now, like for both of these books at least. So it's this is based more on World of Darkness as it was for Bloodlines than whatever it is now in 2025. But yeah, I was looking through that, and yeah, in the main source book, there's only 7 clans. and there are other clans that appear in like I don't think they call it the Dungeon Masters, Storyteller's Handbook, I think it is, or maybe it's Guide to the Sabbat, or there's one of these sort of extension ones that has other clans in. If it was me, I think I would have stuck mostly within the realms of those 7 clans, and like maybe had 1 or 2 others as unique things. But as I say, the fact that it's such a smorgasbord of the clans does feel a little out. It's the one thing that feels kind of, to me, obviously out of sync with the style of the books, of the tabletop game. And I think as well, in some respects, I mean, obviously it would be pretty hard to do. Like I was talking last time about writing dialogue chains and trees and flags, and it's like that can get out of hand really quickly. You begin to see why BioWare and so many others went for like dialogue wheels and simplistic mechanics. It's like doing a complex dialogue chain. That's why Fallout 1 and 2 are just so impressive, because you wouldn't think when you're a designer, or like especially an amateur designer who hasn't really got much experience of doing these things, it's easy to get a couple of sheets of paper and write out some dialogue trees, and that doesn't look like it's that much, but the more customization and variability you put in that, the more duplication you have in the code, and the more potentially messy it gets. It's something we see a lot in writing. Sorry, I'm doing a bit of a talking episode this time, but it's just while it's on my mind. We see a lot of the time in video games just generally, but I think it's always a bit more noticeable in RPGs, where certain patterns of use, certain mechanics follow very strict patterns, and a lot of the time the reason why things follow certain patterns is not, I suspect, because the developers, the designers, thought that was a good idea, but rather because doing it in a more in-depth way is like 5 to 10 times more complex to code. Now, in my view, as much as I've been smashing my head against the wall this week over those damn dialogue trees, in my view, the fact that it is 5 to 10 times more complex to code to do it in a more nuanced way, as an excuse for not doing it, is a total cop-out. I think, as I say, as somebody who has been banging his head against the wall this week with dialogue trees, just like, oh god, I've got to do more later, and it's just, it's all I can see now. It's just, because I think, like, for most engineers, like, engineering is fun, either when, some people really like building things, some people like myself really like solving problems. It's really cool when you solve a problem, but what most, I don't think any engineer that I've spoken to ever said was, oh god, I love software engineering, there's especially the bits where I'm doing repetitive data entry using the same things again and again and again, and then basically ad hoc. But, like, because the other problem right, okay, never mind. We're talking about my game now, no, not this. Sorry. But the point is that, you know, just because something's hard doesn't mean that, you know, you should be excluding it. And doing something differently, even dare I say it, inefficiently. We're going to go and see the Tremere, by the way, because he rocked up. Do we have? We don't have anything from there. Will it be quicker going this way? Have we been here? Yeah, it should not be the only. Oh. How's it going? Right, okay, well, I thought this was going to go into a parking lot in an interesting and exciting way. I was wrong. So, again, that was a lighting thing that could have taught me something. Please, thank you. I get quite lost in the downtown area, as you may have noticed. I don't really have a great understanding of where anything is. So I guess Tremere is over there. Well, even the shape of it sort of evades me somewhat. Well, whatever. That's a bold shortcut to take this, but well, whatever. Yeah. Now we can get lost in the Tremere building as well.
How can I be of assistance? Of course. What is it you would like to know?
Yeah, but then
No more than yourself. But I do know that LaCroix is much too focused on acquiring it. His obvious need for it reveals a weakness that his enemies may one day exploit. I do not know, although I must admit that I sense a change in the night air, something subtle and not altogether pleasant. Perhaps the arrival of the sarcophagus is the harbinger of something more dreadful. I will say no more. What is it you would like to know? What else would you like to know?
Well, no,
The Anarchs feel that they don't.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'll have it. Right, okay. I don't necessarily feel terribly Tremere in. Right, we go. No, it's not going to be left, is it? No, right. That's there. That's. Oh, God. Right, so we want to go left. No. We want to go center. Center. Right. No. This is just, yeah, that was going to be there. That's fine. Okay, so now we're back in this. Right. You would think that I would get this, but I don't. You can probably see the pattern more easily than myself. Right, so I don't know if there's anything else that we get for now. Does that enable us to go to Hollywood in that case, or do we just have to go straight to Grouts? Grouts is interesting. What is our character sheet? Ooh, 8 points of experience. I think that's going to be 2 attributes, that is. And I think those 2 attributes... Oh no, I think it's going to be 1 attribute, unfortunately. Defense and hacking is intriguing. Lockpicking and sneaking is not bad either. Unarmed melee. Kind of don't want that to get too low, but we're not going to need it in Grouts. I also don't really want that to get too low, but equally, we're not going to need it in Grouts. We haven't got enough for that. I don't think we need thematic. Oh, I got something else completely wrong from the books, by the way. I said that like Thin Blood was 8th generation. It's nowhere near. It's like 13 plus. So, yikes. We could pivot to melee. So I know it feels a bit wasteful. The thing is, we've got the extra book as well. There's not much point focusing firearms. We're just never going to be that good at it. Dodge. Will do good work for us. Disappointing, but it's just necessary. This next one is combat heavy, and yeah.
Going somewhere.
Grouts Mansion. Yeah.
You? What are you doing here?
I might ask you the same thing.
No.
You hear that?
You should get out of here. This place is bad news. Pardon me.
Huh? Dun dun dun. Right. I also think that there's going to be a bit of a shortage of blood involved when we get there, so it'll be not too wasteful once we're inside. Grouts Mansion is an experience. I absolutely love the design on this. When we talk about level design, well, let's talk about it here. Unfortunately, the sun is pouring through the windows, which makes it very hard to see if there's anything there. Well, I'm not going to use an Auspex for it because I feel like it probably won't be. Okay. Hello? Right. Okay, we've got a knife. Yeah, it's not terribly complicated, but we do. Oh, okay, alright, okay, I guess that's going to happen. Ow. Sneaky bugger. Oh yeah, that was fun. Oh, can we? No, that's not going to work with this guy. Or is it? Yeah, it might be. Right. And that's why we go brawl and not melee. Good. Okay. Happy days. So. I'll go through there.
It is quite peculiar, the happenings I've been made to witness for my supernatural longevity. I am thinking of one unfortunate phenomenon in particular, of unique interest to my station, both as a professional and as a sufferer of this vampiric condition. It seems the stream of time has begun to erode the moorings of my chosen course of study, for the methodologies that gave birth to psychology are slowly disappearing. I find myself in an era that overlooks the physical component of psychological pathology time and again in favor of the sophistic practices of Freud. Phrenology, dactopintilism, and the rest of the old guard has fallen by the wayside, its champions all silenced in death, with my unique exception. Would that I could make my voice heard again, although it may be suspicious should I return to popular medical discourse 50 years after my apparent...
Yeah, so that's interesting. Oh.
In secret. One day, may I hold up my own cure as validation of the methods. I am confident no cure for my condition or that of my beloved wife lies within our figurative minds, waiting to be unlocked by the correct combination of memories recovered from our childhoods. And I'm most certain it has nothing to do with the relationship between myself, my parents, and my genitals. Sorry, Sigmund, but I choose to stay my course. In time, too, may your star fade and disappear.
Cool. Yeah, interesting. Right, there's going to be a lot of those. What? What does... I don't even know what that means. I don't know if I've ever seen that icon before. Is it the same? Oh, I see. It's the... That's well. Okay, well, firstly, circus performer. Oh, what's this? Oh, they're over on this side. Finance. That's quite annoying. Apologies to anybody who knew the game, who saw me put those points into dodge and said, no, not the second one. Perception at once shapes the mind and rules over time. Time over erodes perception and then turn what's the mind. Okay. Yeah, well, we'll be coming back to that. Right, you, sir. Just doing that so he stops, really. I don't know if... Oh, no, he's going to... Right, we'll cop this up, isn't it? And we'll heal that in time.
Another unfortunate casualty to tide of time, insane asylums. I lament their loss not only as brokerage houses for the breadth and depth of human psychoses, but also I shall mourn the disappearance of that peculiar environment present only in an insane asylum. That palpable atmosphere of blistered brains and churning bowels, the odoriferous melange of freely flowing bodily humors, that gently rolling cacophony of distant sobs and screams, the muttered cursing of perceived enemies, and the blissful gurgling of the lobotomized, like a newborn babe discovering the sky. I shall still find test subjects as sure as I find bloody sustenance in the night, but this climate, I fear, may never be replicated.
Okay, all specs didn't help me. Apologies if you could see that. I assumed that would... Oh, maybe we have to move that first. Yeah. Okay, fine. Right, we've done this. Anyway. Grau, we will remind ourselves, is a Malkavian, which means that for all he is a psychologist, psychiatrist. He's also absolutely barking. He's another really, really cool character. I can't wait here. Okay, ouch, got hit through the door. Okay, this is going to be tricky. Will you please just come in? Well, I know you're going to go for me anyway, so might as well do it the easy way. Hello? Something about attacking them when they're unarmed makes me feel rather sad. Yeah, I got myself in a bad position. Oh, look at that flying kick. Okay, can we... Yeah, I know, can we... Alright, okay, good. So, something, and I don't know what this says about me, maybe I'm as mad as Grout. This, can you quite see it? That is something I dream about all the time. Staircases that get like taller and taller and taller until the door is in the ceiling. I remember when I first played this game back in the day. I mean, that shit's been happening to me for like 20 years. I remember just being like, yeah, that is like, I don't know if you see that sort of thing. I mean, obviously, I guess you can just say it's like a loft access, but on some of them it's, I don't know, there's something I find quite mental about that. Yeah. That will, of course, take us up. There's the locked with no hope of getting in. Locked with no hope of getting in, that's fine. And this one? Good, okay, fine. So, yes. Hello. Okay, well, that's the flipping artifact, but yeah. Yeah. Leave that open and have the light, please. Don't need more knives. Okay. Very good.
Often I reflect with great regret on the missed opportunity that was my infector. Had I been conscious after the attack, I could have stopped the orderlies from locking her in the roaming pen. What I would give for just one interview, a few simple questions of the plague-ridden woman who met her end that dawn. Of course, there is no guarantee she would have been any more helpful than my current crop of test subjects, mewling wretches. Few could be called enthusiastic. Given the nature of the tests, I cannot expect the same fervor from all, but a modicum of cooperation would be appreciated. Animals. The one called John went so far as to gnaw off his arm and escape into the floorboards like some feral rodent. I still hear him scurrying about at night, making atrocious messes.
Yeah. You. Oh. Oh.
My studies proceed at a languid pace. I'm mired in a foul ennui as my wife's illness advances. My subjects grow restless without proper supervision, but I cannot pull myself back from this black depression. How many nights I've wasted now, gazing from the tower walk, pondering the frailty of existence.
Brewing out there, I would say. Oh, maybe this way. Nice little vista though, isn't it? Los Angeles. The city of angles. The other thing with Garrett's Mansion that I really love, and I know this is a silly way to look at it, but I just think it's a really cool piece of design, if like just a fire safety nightmare. Okay. We've not saved for a little while. Let's save. Can't remember if there are any bosses or anything, but. Oh, and there was me thinking we wouldn't have enough blood in here. Okay, teleporting, is it? Right, ass kicking it, is it? Okay. Know if the other one's dead? Oh, looks like they are. Okay. Right, so what do we have here? We have this room here, which takes us back to here. Okay, so we've just no, please don't. Okay, good. Right, so that was where we came in. Yep, with the table. So this presumably is going to lead to the other door here. Okay, fine. Yep. This one will take us into a new corridor. Interesting. Yeah, okay. Ouch. Okay. Right.
After decades of solitary study into this affliction, I have learned that it is by no means mine alone. Indeed, the city is home to an entire society of similarly afflicted individuals with whom I've only recently made contact. They are an understandably standoffish sort by and large, but I have been able to confirm with them that the condition is indeed vampirism, which apparently comes in a multitude of strains, each with a spectacular set of symptoms such as invisibility and even a sort of lycanthropy. Through numerous official interactions with the governing body of this secret society, I have concluded that their fundamental understanding of the vampiric condition is woefully lacking and mired in suspicion and pseudo-religious dogma that would make a Turk balk for its strictures. Indeed, they seemed impressed with my studies and the eloquence with which I was able to present them. Apparently, the typical sufferer of my particular strain of vampirism is far from the vanguard of the King's English. So impressed were they that they even offered me an office in their government, a rather high office by the sound of things. I believe I shall accept. If nothing else, it should provide a lofty vantage point from which to observe the breadth and epidemiology of the affliction, so that I may move more expeditiously toward a cure.
Okay. Okay. Oh, that was probably the worst thing I could have done, actually. The men do aggravated damage, so they are the biggest threat. Fabulous. Cool. And that, okay, good. It's two-way thing. I feel like we're moving onwards with this in a way that makes me want to go back and check that other door. Then again, that's the problem with Grant's mansion. Right, we'll see how much further this leads on. If it okay, so that's the hatch door that we were looking at earlier.
I have accepted the role of Primogen for Clan Malkavian, the dreadfully winsome label applied to the particular strain of vampirism I suffer, so named for some supposed vampire father figure of old, or poppycock grown from a backward culture that seems interminably drawn to children's tales and the fiction of Victorian romance, when it should concern itself with the science behind their suffering. No matter, for I have taken this office for no greater reason than to advance my research. I must make mention, however, that even among my would-be peers in this governing body of vampires, the level of paranoia and superstition is frightening. Their intelligence is not to question, no, indeed. As they courted me for this appointment, I had to suspect that their overtures were hand-careless to what must be my obvious infatuation of reason, for the devil would do well to have such honey-tongued tempers. Even so, I could not help but notice the dressing of language these vampire leaders chose for their silent song. Whether it is born of habit, from addressing their unwashed, ill-educated subjects, or from their own deep-seated beliefs, their linguistic flourishes belie a faith in superstition over the providence of empirical reason that must be an all-pervasive theme in this society of darkest night.
I think we might have completely guffed this up, unfortunately. Right. Damn it all, I'm doing it too. I think we're going to save and go back in any case. Was it here? Right. We were... Right, in fact, actually, just definitely save that. Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention there. Getting kind of distracted by this.
I have accepted the role of Primogen.
Can I also learn that I can be understood only through the scientific process?
The particular strain of vampirism I suffer.
Oh, I think so. We need
for some supposed vampire father figure of old, or poppycock grown from a backward culture that.
So that feels like chaos. There's no other. Yeah, I think so. This will open maybe these things. Or possibly that. Oh, no, that's
reason than to advance my research. I must make mention, however, however, that even among my would-be peers in this governing body of vampires, the level of paranoia and superstition is frightening. Their intelligence is not the question, no, indeed. As they courted me for this appointment, I had to suspect that their overtures were hand-tailored to what must be my obvious infatuation with reason, for the devil would do well to have such honey-combed tempters.
Okay, let's try this. Let's try that.
Vampire leaders chose.
Let's try it.
Whether it is born of habit, from addressing their unwashed, ill-educated subjects, or their own deep-seated beliefs,
I mean,
flourishes belie a faith
that was an achievement, wasn't it?
Over the providence of empirical
Not quite what I was hoping to have happen, but
this
happen it has.
society of darkest night.
So where was that?
Now I'm doing it too.
Oh, down there. Have we already been down there? Right, no, so that... Okay, so this definitely is the right way. Because going down into the basement, as ever, is you know, the right way. But we missed a turn back here. I'm sure it'll probably go to nothing. But just in case... It was over here somewhere. What's this? Lovely. Right, okay, perfect. Might even have been easier to just reload that rather than making the journey, but I don't know. Is that in the spirit of it? Probably not. Cool. Yes. Right. Okay. Okay. This is the sort of thing where telekinesis would be useful, wouldn't it? Right, I think we can go left and right. So if we go, there's nothing over there, so let's go and pick up this thing. Whatever it is. It is a, yes, a Tarl Fang, brilliant. Frenzy check modifier +1. Well, we don't really use frenzy anyway, so. I'm gonna go over here. Do we just have to use all of them? Right, so I guess not. So that's open, and then we're still sneaking. You're not open. Okay. Wasn't the greatest puzzle that's been in this game thus far, but whatever. What is that? Oh, okay. Ooh. Alright, well. Fuck me, Amadeus. Now all we need to do is find out where the hell that was. I think it was round here, wasn't it? No. Is it here? This one? Or was that the exit. New, this is Grout's Mansion Part 2. Right, okay, cool. Happy days. Is the mic in a good place? Unfortunately, it's not going to get any easier to navigate.
As I expand my dealings with the vampire government, I have encountered a disturbing new symptom of this affliction. Frequently, in conversation, I will hear voices emanating from other vampires, voices that are not their own, but which seem to have insight into their lives beyond what I could gather from simple conversation. These voices seem to echo from deep within my fellow vampires, and I cannot be certain if this symptom belongs to my strain of illness or theirs. The voices are various and inconsistent. I dare not mention this symptom to my vampiric peers, for they have proven themselves true predators to whom I could be loath to reveal any sign of weakness. Indeed, these voices have counseled me against confessing their presence, and until I can confirm their source, I will listen. The information the voices have given me ranges from curious to frightening. The latter case is especially true of one powerful vampire whose name I shall not commit to recording in the interests of self-preservation.
Yeah. So that's cool. Right, yeah, so I need to... Right, okay, yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Right, whoa, God. No, don't sneak then. Oh, yeah, it's him. Yeah. I'm sure there's one more of these bastards. Okay. Cool. Yeah, Grout. Yeah. He's nuts. The laboratory refrigerator key. Very nice. I'm not quite sure what the design decision was, but here. It does serve, I suppose, like, whether it's an intentional thing or not, it kind of shows you the areas you've already been to, which makes life that bit easier, but, yeah. I don't think there's any other reason why. Oh, hello, what's this? Oh! Eldervitae as well. Vitae. Right, okay, that is that's a find, because we've been out of blood for ages and we didn't look like we had any potential to get any more, so I'll take that. Sometimes it doesn't seem to want to attack. Cool. Yeah. Wasn't expecting to lockpick that, and we actually succeeded, which I also wasn't expecting. Cool. Yeah, I definitely will take that, and in fact, I will go as far as to reload that. If it's giving me those things, I'm going to have the guns loaded. Okay. Right, cool. go out in his personal little asylum. Sorry if you've got epilepsy. Sorry if you've got epilepsy. Let's shut that door. Okay, that's at least one of them down. Oh, it looks like it's both of them down. Okay. Oh shit, it's not opening now. Freaking out. Okay, right. Right, excuse me. You're going there, why? I feel like that one was... No, she's going... Okay, good. Right. She seemed very much intent on getting past, so I wonder if there was a deeper motivation there. We'll do it in the order story intended. Okay. Somebody who apparently ate his own legs off. Okay. Right, you get up and lovely. Let's get rid of that aggravated damage. Rats, if you... Whoa, hello. Okay. That wasn't the best accuracy, was it? Okay. Sure, we'll get other opportunities. Grow up, what have you got to say for yourself?
The voices have increased in frequency and direction of late. They have begun to stay with me long after conversation has ceased and are serving as quite a distraction. I fear others are beginning to notice my preoccupation at the vampire gatherings. I am thinking again of the particular vampire of whom I spoke previously, who I dare not name for my growing fear. If the voices are to be believed, then my caution is warranted, for they speak of his blackest crimes, both past and future. More than once, I have seen the suspicion in his eyes and heard the distrust in his voice when speaking with me. The fear must register on my face, as it is all I can do in these moments to keep from crying out in chorus with the voices.
Cool. This feels...
I am no longer safe. I know it. The voices have proven themselves authentic, and I have withdrawn from the Vampire Society entirely. My absence will no doubt draw attention, but I could no longer hold my fragile composure around the ravenous eyes of my vampire peers, especially not around him. The voices compelled me to make what I fear is a Faustian bargain, but I had to, for their demands are constant and merciless. I have secluded myself within the mansion. I know he will strike out at me. He will go to any length to achieve his ambitions, and he knows it, I know. I have taken precautions to protect my beloved wife. The cure will have to wait until our immediate safety is guaranteed. The mansion was constructed with security in mind, but at that time I was not privy to the full range of vampire capabilities. The voices echo in the twisted corridors of my psyche, dark whisperings of a macabre and formless menace, the approach of which portends an end to all of this.
Yes. Good. And that's Gerhart's wife. I'm not quite sure what that's meant to be, whether she's in like formaldehyde or something. Ah, but yes, possibly. Cool. Let's go and meet Grout. There he is. But we've got other things to worry about, and this other thing that we have to worry about. Well, back in the day, I played this game on a potato. This was very, very difficult. And what's that? Who?
Count is dead? Pity it could not be by my hand. No matter. Soon the self-made kings and false prophets and all who bear the mark of the beast will be washed from the earth for the coming of the Lord.
Who the hell are you?
If you burn, tell them it was Grünfeldbach who sent your damned soul to that lake of fire. All agents of Satan shall return to whence they came. Let this righteous display serve as a promise to all who serve the Archfiend Lacroix. I'm coming for you, Lacroix. By the power of the Lord, I will cleanse your black soul.
Yeah, whatever. Right, okay. So, we have to escape this fire. Fire is obviously very dangerous for vampires. Apparently not too dangerous for that vampire. And yeah, we need to find a way out. As soon as we are on fire, we're taking huge amounts of damage. There is an argument to say, I don't think it's actually timed this. There's an argument to say that we're better off using a gun for these parts, but well, we're here. We need to find a way out. Yeah, like I say, absolute potato. I couldn't even look. Oh god, at the flames. Obviously, we can't feed on these things either. When I was playing this, I can't remember what I was playing it on, but like it just, yeah. I was down to like in these sections, possibly. Oh shit, you fucking bastard. Maybe like 0.3 frames per second. So I guess those things are going to keep getting up if I don't get my act together and get moving. So we're going to die here if we're not careful. If we do, we'll have only ourselves to blame. Okay, yeah, leave. Yeah, so getting out there was an absolute breeze. Getting out at like 0.3 frames per second, not quite so easy. Just even being able to walk was a challenge. Right, but anyway, we're out, we're done, we've got everything. I regret taking dodge, but that's that. Let's get those off, get the horse specs on. Let's go to the nightclub. Do we have anything that we can sell, by the way?
Partner.
Let's see the merchandise. Yeah, okay, so firstly... Oh, it's on... Yeah, it's on this side, isn't it? We can't sell the light clothing, that's fine. I just want to store those rather than sell them, honestly. We might as well settle that. It's not worth that much, and it just clogs up the inventory. Fang decreases your chance to frenzy. I'm not even really sure I want that. Actually, kind of like my chances of frenzy. Finance abilities needed. I know we'll definitely be keeping all that stuff. Increases defense is lovely, but knives out. Really do not need that. Cool. Yeah. Oh, we might even get some money here if we go in.
There you are. I was beginning to think you ditched me.
Did you? Oh, the Cloning Loser would do that. Come here. Fantastic.
Money, right? Been a while. Your money's been piling up. Here, that should provide for an interesting evening.
Let's keep it going. Yeah, I think now, because we got that early enough, as long as we keep remembering to check back, we should be okay. Which is the... Well, I might be going a long way around here, but whatever. Have I just gone completely the wrong way? Once again. Oh, for God's sake. Okay. Fine. Right, and I think that might unlock Hollywood.
Evening there. Something burning? Smells like someone burnt the burgers.
Oh, no, it's...
Sure, I'll open her up for you. Jeez, I could go for one of them double space burgers.
I made quesadillas last night. They were alright. It was my first attempt at making them. I didn't really use a recipe. I just kind of... what? Oh, yeah, he opens up a specific one. Okay, fine. pH. Suitably acid. Right, I don't know what I'm saving here. Just it did.
The Primogens still haven't been contacted by Grout. I thought I made it clear that you were not supposed to come back until we had heard from him. Grout's dead. What? Bach! Every time I think he's lost the scent. So, Bach killed Grout to draw me out. Bach is a hunter. They stalk and kill our kind to appease their god. But like many mortals, their so-called faith is nothing but conduit through which they quench their killing urge. Who else would have killed Grout?
If you let me finish.
Let you finish? With whom do you presume you're speaking? Look at me. Are you sure it was Nines Rodriguez? Because if it was, the consequences... Do you know where this might lead?
I mean, it's obviously not Nines, but like I'm trying to, like, I can't remember who it is. Why don't you tell me?
I'm glad you find this so amusing. I don't. And do you know why? It means, under most circumstances, I would call a blood hunt on the murderer immediately. However, the anarchs of this city may interpret such an action to be a declaration of war. I do not want a war with them. This decision will take some time. I need to confer with the Primogen on this. In the meantime, I've come to a decision on the Ankaran sarcophagus, and I believe that for the safety of the inhabitants of this city, we need to place the sarcophagus under Camarilla protection until its contents can be confirmed. You're becoming quite indispensable to me. So, out of all my available personnel, I'm going to entrust the sarcophagus to you. It was quietly delivered to the Museum of Natural History a few hours ago. Let me finish. The manifest from the Dane shows there was a small box from the same dig on board, but it was listed as missing. Keep an eye open for it. It may have been overlooked. It's crucial we get the sarcophagus in our possession within the next few hours. Yes, of course. Here. I can't have one of my representatives running around ill-equipped for their task. Here are the keys to the front door of the museum. The sarcophagus should be in an examination room of some sort. There's a small security staff on site, but I don't want a massive. They're just as easy to deceive as they are to kill.
So why? So we can't take the keys.
There is a degree of immediacy attached to this task.
Okay. Right. Well. Options aside, this is something of a theme with... We'll go... I don't think there's anything we can do at the last round. So I think we'll save it here because, as I said, I don't think anything new comes of it. I'm going to play the standard game here of can I remember where the last round is. I think it's over this way actually. Yeah. So I talked a little bit on the area design. Let's talk. Oh, actually, let's go and see if Tremere guy wants anything as well about like the thing that Bloodlines has this. It has a really cool lived-in world that you spend loads of time in. And that's really good. And then,
Hello, Neonate.
if you want to talk.
What is it you would like to know?
Esophagus, what do you think's inside it? Like what? Say no more. Questions. Let's talk about something else. A few questions. This is not a good dialogue tree, if we're honest. Question about Camarilla. something else I needed. Out here, see it. Whatever's, if we get anything from him, we are not doing a good job of triggering it, which means we now have to go. That's not going to work. Okay, so we need to go this way, this way, this way. No, obviously didn't trigger it. We go this way, and we go back this way. No, have we triggered it here? No. Go this way. This will also take us there. So we go this way. No, that's not that way. Okay. Fucking delight every time we get through that. Yeah, it's real. Like it's not like the places that we're going to are bad. It's not like Grout's mansion is a bad. Can we get in here? No. A bad dungeon. It's not like even the Elizabeth Dane is a bad dungeon. It's not like this museum is a bad dungeon. But the problem, I think, with it, you agree or not, is that it feels like we talked before about on that playthrough about contiguous dungeons, like the world being contiguous, and like they feel really separate. Like they don't feel like they're within the world. And there are other dungeons in this, like the Bishop Vic or whatever in his Plague Bearer house. It's like it's strange, but the fact that the building is within the area makes it feel, even though it's ultimately you're still in what we might call an instance. You're still in your own specific thing that is detached from this map, but it feels part of it. But every time, like as well with the other thing with this is that like there's a real clear distinction between what is the main quest and what are side quests. And it's another thing that I really admire about Fallout 1 and 2. Like obviously Fallout 1 and 2 have got a main quest that you're investigating, but everything feels like it occurs as its own thing on the way to the main quest. Everything you're searching for information in the hub, and it feels organic. It doesn't feel like when you go, for instance, spoilers, Fallout spoilers, close your ears. When you go to the Deathclaw cave, having been pointed there by Harold, and it teaches you about like the mutants and so on and stuff. It doesn't feel like a main quest. It just feels like information about the world. And like I'm not complaining about Grout's mansion or about Elizabeth Dane, it is a bit unfortunate, I think, with this that we're now doing 3 of them back to back, which is probably why it's worthy of mention. It's just that those aren't the bits that feel like the best bits. The best bits are just being around, doing things in downtown that link to one another. Going and looking through people's apartments and figuring things out there, and like this area, when we are moving about it feels thematically on point. We feel like a vampire to an extent. I mean, assuming by vampire you mean petty criminal, but it does. It feels like, you know, we've got all these skills and we're using them and blah blah blah, and then we get to Grout's mansion and it's just like, that's just a combat section, and we've already established that the combat in this game it's not all that good anyway. So, yeah. We're going to end this as we pretty much started it, which is conversing about dialogue trees. We'll start with Damsel because she's my favourite. You know how. You guys are all the same, she says, despite the fact that.
You got a lot of nerve showing up here, man.
Easy, Scott.
Don't expect to see him until this bullshit is resolved.
Human question.
Who do you want to know about?
Yeah, I was
The college girl over there? To be honest, she reminds me of those miserable stateside protest bucks when I was at 9. She's on the right side of this one. Don't let the hippie line fool you.
Yeah.
Listen, you did what you had to do. Just the messenger, right? Don't worry about Skelter. It's like all these big blocking puffs nowadays. They don't bite unless they get cooler. I hear Nine's got word. I'd wager he's gonna be laying low for a while. Yeah, sure, but there's packs of youngsters out there who'd love to make a name by bringing in the head of Nine Rodriguez. You're just eager to please, ain't you? I can give a goddamn kid, but I'm sure the boys here would appreciate it if you kept the business as usual. You hear me?
Yeah, it's like this whole. I think we will carry on with the savour of that, but we'll take it back. We'll walk back to the taxi, ready to go off to this stupid museum. Bloodlines has got. I really do feel like I'm kind of dunking on it this episode, and you know, I don't know why. It's one of my favourite games ever. I'm really enjoying the playthrough. But one of the things that, like, dialogue has been a bit of a theme lately. One of the things that I don't like in Bloodlines is I don't think the player character is handled well in terms of their dialogue options. I don't like, like, as I am now, like, and I did try doing this. I think 90% sure, but I didn't even bother to try and go at the last round first because I kind of knew it was going to be the way it is. Like, you're railroaded, as soon as you have that interaction with Nines outside, it was obviously something was up. It really isn't like, there's not subtle about it that's probably not Nines. And as a result, your character should know that. So then to go to LaCroix and immediately dob Nines in, which doesn't need to happen in the way it's happened. Like for instance, as they use in the first bit of it when he's there, you can just LaCroix could say, "Oh, somebody oversaw Nines Rodriguez there," and LaCroix could have leapt to this conclusion, and then the Anarchs can still blame Nines, you could say, I didn't seem like him, or didn't seem like himself, and like LaCroix can foster his own suspicions, and it changes nothing, but it makes sense. But instead, we have to tell LaCroix that he was there, which doesn't really make sense. Especially in that first playthrough I did, where I was just like, I was younger, and like, I think I don't know, the Anarchs, to me, I immediately latched onto as the good guys. Now, I mean, like, what's sort of cool in this is that, like, nobody's really the good guys. Like, everybody's kind of bad. It's a load of seas of moral grey. But the point is that a lot of people will affiliate with the Anarchs. So to then write in dialogue where you dob in somebody who probably wasn't there, and like, I mean, it feels like you should be able to, at this point, know why, know what's going on between the Anarchs and the Camarilla, and go like, well, actually, maybe that isn't something, some like flames that I want to fan on this. But we go back to a conversation we had more recently on dialogue systems. Why does this happen? Well, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is almost fully voice acted, and its voice acting is, as by the standards of the time, particularly, it's fantastic. So it would be a lot more difficult to and obviously the challenges we've spoken about earlier in the video, and a million other places as well, about writing complex dialogue trees. But I do think that even in a really good game, and like I mentioned this in the past, like, I think the general writing of the characters in Bloodlines is really good. I think there's some great characters. Obviously, Teresa and Jeanette are like, really, really good. I think Nines and Jack are good characters. I think that Damsel is a big character. LaCroix is a big character. Everything's sort of contemplating to the feel, and everything feels right. I don't ever feel like any of the characters in this game are incongruent or sloppily put together. I feel like they're well done, well written, apart from the player character, where it's just, it's messy. It's inconsistent what the player character knows, what they don't. I think as a general rule for me is, if you're going to take decisions out of the player characters, or out of the player's control, then you really should be taking decisions out of the player character's control. I guess is the way I'd summarise that. And Bloodlines feels like it. Yeah, it's very willing to take control away from the player, but then just make it a choice of the player character, which is, as we said before, it is okay if your player character is a person. If we were playing as who've we encountered that's like, if we were playing as Mercuria, and like the character was going to operate and do things in a Mercuria way, and like, you know, we're giving options of like, you know, we can either go full in, excuse me, like we can either like temper Mercurio slightly, or like think, but he's always going to be within the realm of how Mercurio operates. Like, that's fine. But when you're creating your own character, I think you really have to be careful about railroading people in. Anyway, I'm still enjoying it. Still really enjoy it. Yeah. But yeah, that doesn't mean it's above criticism. Nothing is. This is a channel about deconstructing things, not just, you know, like not just mindlessly enjoying them. Yeah. But that can happen in the background. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye bye.